How is this album different from the last album? I mean, because it is.
It is, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It feels like a fully realized collaboration that first started with Dangerous Fruit. Dangerous Fruit was a big departure for me in so many ways. I've come from the world of more of a rootsier pop sensibility, and with Keith, who provides all these different textures and productions and layers, it kind of requires me to play less and also sing less a little bit and kind of integrate the song more with the production than I've done so in the past. Mm-hmm. And so that process of making Dangerous Fruit was an interesting one, and it took a lot of adjustment. And then as I was writing for this album, I think having gone through working with Keith once, it made it a little bit easier. It was like I created more space in the songs. The songwriting has changed, and I think that made it a little bit easier while we were in the studio. It was like I had to adjust the songs less. They were already kind of ready to go for his production. There were still some changes that took place that were driven by the sounds and the direction that he gave us to go in the studio. But so it feels like we've gone further down the path of electronic ambient pop, and the textures are very much more electronic. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because I think I would fight Keith during the first album together, Dangerous Fruit. I would fight him a lot on certain tones in the bass or certain razor kind of edgier patches on the keys, and now I'm craving them. It's like I can see how they would work, and so he kind of pushed me to go in that direction and to take that risk, and it's been really fun. I'm really, really excited about the new CD.
Well, there's almost a dance tune on that album.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is there almost a dance tune?
Well, there is a dance tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some people could dance to it, sure.
Yeah. Have you ever done a dance tune?
No, I don't think we set out for that. That was you're talking about Wide Open, right?
Yeah.
Wide Open is interesting because I bought a vocal processing unit because I wanted to be able to do that sort of trip hop sound, but on a solo while I'm playing and touring solo, because most of the time I'm touring solo. And so I bought like a drum, not a drum machine, but a loop pedal that I use sort of to play back pre-programmed beats. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of sounds like a drum machine, as well as some pedals and textures for my guitar, as well as this vocal processing unit. And one of the cool textures that I found for my voice is this thing that's overused, really badly used on mainstream radio, and it's this harmonizer effect. And what was cool about it, though, and this is what I love about pushing yourself, going into a direction that is new, is that sometimes you find like really inspiring tools that you might not have had you not been open to it. And so Wide Open was written with that texture. On most of the songs on this album are written on keys, which is new for me. I mean, not writing on keys, but doing most of the album on keys is a little bit new for me. And so that changed things. But this song was written on keys, and it was really interesting because if I take that texture away, the song does not feel or sound right, and I would not have written those words or that melody or that arrangement without it. And so I was really following, that moment of inspiration and playing with something new. And so that's when I feel like using gear to inspire you is really fun and useful.
Having done the first album with Keith and played live with him for all this time, how has the dynamic changed between the two of you?
I think that we sort of settled into ourselves as a collaborative, effort. Like, I think that we know what to expect from the other person, and it's been an awesome experience making this album. I loved it.
Yeah. Tony wasn't on the first album, was he?
Actually, he was. He was on. He played slide guitar on Recognize.
How does that work? I mean, some people can really make that lifetime collaboration and musical collaboration work. Say Lisa Mann, for instance, although she doesn't really play with her husband.
Yeah.
How does that collaboration work with Tony?
Well, we don't collaborate that much musically. It's not really a musical collaboration. We're together as a couple.
Yeah.
And we both sit in with each other when it works, but we're on different musical paths and we support each other, but it's not a collaborative thing that we do together.
What was his role on this album?
He played on a couple tunes. He played ukulele on one song which is the title track, Rubber Teardrop. It's a beautiful little solo that he put in there, as well as, what else did he do? I think he put slide on one of the songs. I can't remember.
What is a rubber teardrop?
Rubber Teardrop is a song that, it's one of the songs on the album, and it started off just kind of a happy little love song. And I had a hard time finishing it, and I asked a friend of mine from Nashville, she was in town, her name's Amelia White, and we've actually co-written before, and she helped me finish the song. And she told me about a story about a man who made a robot bust of his living, breathing wife. And so we were reading about the story in New York Times, and I thought, let's make this song about robot love, because I can finish a song about robot love easier than I can finish a song about just plain old love. And that was kind of the inspiration for the rest of the tune, and it came together really fast. And then when I brought it into Keith, he said, Rubber Teardrop would be such a cool album name. And the more I thought about it, I really loved it, because what it represents to me is the idea of something organic living in a synthetic environment. And that's what feels like has happened on this album.
Because robots cry rubber tears?
I don't know. I haven't fully analyzed it yet.
So tell us about the CD release.
So on Friday night, I'm having my big CD release, and Dirty Martini's going to open, and I've got a member of Northwest Dance Project who'll be joining us for a song. She's choreographing a piece that goes along with a song called Anchor. And what's interesting is Anchor, the lyrics to Anchor, although it was written, last year, sounds very relatable to what just happened in Japan, the earthquake and the tsunami. And so she is choreographing a piece that is inspired and fueled by that event. And we're going to be giving some proceeds away to Mercy Corps Japan, some of the door proceeds, as well as 50% of the merch. And then we'll have a way for people to donate there as well.
Who will you be playing with?
So it'll obviously be Keith, and on all the ambient sounds and mixing it live, as well as the didgeridoo, and Jade Vanacore on keyboard and vocals, and the bassoon, and I'll be playing electric guitar and singing, and then we'll probably switch off a couple times, and that's it. I'm excited.